And likewise, we have to build a new international order. And this is the biggest challenge of our time.
President Biden hoping to burnish his image. Only a few months left for his term, but this image will not be easy. A series of major foreign policy conflicts breaking out during his term. You got Afghanistan in 21, Ukraine in 22, Israel in 23, and a Middle East conflict now on the verge of erupting into a wider regional war.
Emmanuel Macron, President of the French Republic. We all remember your words 2 years ago in Rome.
Mesdames et messieurs, en vos grades et qualités.
By the way, Japan fired at Russian jets who they say violated their airspace. God, is Japan getting involved in this now? I mean, it truly is worrisome to expect that we could see a World War III here.
So the international order we are following today is a frozen order. It's an unjust order because it is not representative of what reality really is today. So if you want to imagine peace, we have to think about a world order that allows us to face together the challenges of peace, war, development, technology, climate, on our planet with no priorities. And this is what we're trying to do with the Pact of Paris for the peoples of the planet. And we have to do that in an order where there's no country that can stop anyone else. A system where all the countries are represented with equal dignity. And we should do that with claims that are fairer. The UN, the IMF, the World Bank, well, they will all contribute to the need to imagine peace.
As America withdraws or attempts to withdraw from the region, its influence over the relevant parties diminishes. The less reliable America looks, the less value anyone attaches to promises of American support. The more obviously America looks towards the exits, the less anyone fears America's power.
That's different from what you saw during 8 years of President Obama and now 4 years of her and President Biden's leadership. Their theory of the case is appease the Iranians, negotiate with them. There are moderates there. We can all sing Kumbaya and find our way forward, when the reality is the Iranians have now taken $6 billion from the United States in exchange for hostages, now holding more American hostages in Gaza. They killed 1,200 Israeli and American citizens on October 7th, and our response has been, hey, can we just get a ceasefire? This signals to the world that America has left the global stage. We're not prepared to defend the things that matter to us. And the risk of escalation resulting from this American weakness, this failure of deterrence, is very real.
Well, we needed people that had this vision, that were able to imagine the European peace. And we need to fuel this imagination. We have to imagine the peace of tomorrow in a new way. A peace, and Monsignor, I apologize. I hope you're not going to take offense at this, but I'm thinking about imagining a peace that, beyond the channel, there might be reconciliation with the Balkans, for example, reality in a geographical form that is not NATO, that is not the European Union. Yes, we are going on with the idea of a European political community, or anyway, a new form of Europe. We must think again of our relations with Russia if we want peace in Europe. And likewise, we have to build a new international order. And this is the biggest challenge of our time. Because what we are experiencing is an incomplete and unjust system. Incomplete because it was designed at the end of World War II. And so it actually had no concerns that arose later on in time.
Writing, quote, "It is a far more dangerous world than Mr. Biden inherited and far less congenial for U.S. interests, human freedom, and democracy. Authoritarians have advanced on his watch in every part of the world, Europe, Asia, Pacific, and the Middle East, Africa, and even the Americas, General." Your reaction?
Well, that's absolutely true. The 20 months I spent on the Congressional Commission, we issued our report recently, and we said much the same thing, but we were very specific about it. China, Russia, Iran, and North Korea have all increased their aggression in the world at the expense of the United States and like-minded democracies. It's not isolated. There's major war in Europe, not seen since World War II. It's not isolated that Iran has stepped up its game in the Middle East. and to seek its national objectives to drive the people from living in Israel so that the state of Israel cease to exist and drive the United States out of the region. That's why the Middle East is on fire. And President Xi has stepped up his game in terms of his aggression in the Indo-Pacific region. The drumbeat of leading to a major conflict where we could be fighting a war in more than one region is on the horizon. It is alarming. The seriousness and the danger that we're facing, and this administration will not talk to it, will not tell the American people how serious and challenging this danger really is.
The chief cabinet secretary in Japan held an emergency press conference overnight on the clash, saying that the Russian planes violated Japanese airspace north of Ribbon Island in Hokkaido 3 times between 1 and 3 p.m. local time yesterday, General. It truly is worrisome to expect that we could see a World War III here.
We are always experts of the past or of a past world because our experience is built on something we have experienced already. So we always think about finding solutions for a new world by going along the lines of what we had in the past, but it is not like that. Quite the contrary. If we are replicating or copying something, we're actually fueling a form of nostalgia of something that once was, something that seemed to be more beautiful than what we have today. But this is no solution. The solution lies in imagination.
President Biden touched on the myriad tragedies impacting every part of the globe: climate change, artificial intelligence, and the ongoing wars in Ukraine and Sudan. He ended his final major foreign policy speech with a call for unity around the world.